Welcome, Wanderers! It's Wander Wednesday. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I do new videos every Monday and Wednesday. Monday being my Magic Monday Disney related videos, and Wednesday being Wander Wednesday travel related videos. I may also throw some bonus videos here and there. We shall see. Hey, what's up? I'm Annika, and in this video I'm going to show you all of my favorite travel apps. Some of these just make my life so much better. Let's wonder where the Wi-Fi is weak. The Wi-Fi sure will be weak, that's for sure. Which brings me to the main theme of this video. Offline, offline, offline. If you can have things be on your phone offline and downloaded, like, you are pretty much set. I have devised 4 categories that you need to know for all of your travel apps that you need. Plan, flight, destination, and communication. Let's dive deeper. First up, plan. Now I have tons of apps that I like to use to plan. This one, it's called Travefy, and it's usually better on a desktop when you're actually doing your planning. But as far as like trip itineraries, collaborating with other people, I like to use this. This was for my trip to Ireland. You can like plug in your information. You can say like what you're going to be doing that day, enter in photos, and you can collaborate and chat right on the application. So I really love using that. Something else I love to use is actually just Google Docs. You can share your Google Doc obviously with your friends or whoever you're traveling with, or just for you to make notes. But that's really nice because you can go in and type out everything that you're doing and edit it as you go along. And you have the mobile app version, so you can do this all on your computer. And then while you're out and about, you can download these to your phone and have them ready to go. And you can always reference it while you're on your trip or traveling. Another one I really like to use is Google Trips. You can just type in a city. So let's say I want to go to Hong Kong. It'll pull it up. You can add in your reservations. You can email your confirmations to your email, and it'll automatically upload it to like your reservations area and have it like ready to go. You can look at things to do. It'll already have like ideas for you. It'll tell you where all of the main sites are, like where to see things. You can pull up a map. Like, this is really nice. I haven't used this one too often, but I think I'm going to use it for my next trip. I've also got a few apps on here that I like to use for booking my flight, but I actually mostly use Google Flights when I book my flight because Google Flights just becomes your best friend. And I'm actually going to do another video on flight booking hacks, so stay tuned for it next week when I go into depth on all the tips and tricks you can do when you're booking your flight and how to get the best deals. Next category is flight. So this includes pre-flight / entertainment while you're on your flight, especially long flights. I like to make sure I have Netflix downloaded, Prime Video. I use the Xfinity Stream app because I have a login for Xfinity. And what you can do is you can go on here and filter your shows or your movies and whatnot and find ones to download. So you can literally just go on here, find a show you like. Maybe you want to download a whole season to keep you occupied. Like, I've definitely done that before, where I've downloaded just an entire season of a show and just got through the entire thing while I was on the plane. And it kept me nice and occupied. The flight went by so fast and I was super entertained and caught up on my show. So yeah, you can literally just hit download and then you'll find it in your downloads tab. And then once your phone's on airplane mode, you'll be able to go back to that downloads tab and watch anything that you downloaded. The same thing with Xfinity Stream. They've got movies available. You've got movies available, and you can filter it by available for download, which is the best feature ever because offline is the best line. And Prime Video, I own a couple of movies on Prime, and I always keep them downloaded on my phone just in case as a backup. I have The Greatest Showman on here right now. Like, pretty much go everywhere with The Greatest Showman. Those are some great streaming apps to use. I also make sure I've got my playlist downloaded on Spotify because on airplane mode you want to make sure that you have all your music to listen to keep you entertained. as well as I'll sometimes put like podcast on here too. Next category, destination. So these apps are important for when you're actually in your destination and trying to get around, or trying to convert currency, or maybe you don't know exactly what there is to see and you're in a weird location and there's a language barrier, you can't really ask, like all of that good stuff. So my number one app, if not anything else of this entire video, is Google Maps. Google Maps is literally your new best friend because you can literally download. You can go to a category called offline maps on here, and like I went to Yosemite, and so I downloaded the entire Yosemite Valley, and you can kind of stretch and modify what part of the map you want to be downloaded. So if you know you're going to be in the city of Shanghai, for example, which I will be in a few short weeks, I want to download the entire city so that just in case for some reason I need to be offline, I have no data, I want to be able to get around. And when you're offline in Google Maps, you can still know your location, you can still get directions, you can still use all the transit info, and it's so convenient. I honestly downloaded every city that I visited when I was studying abroad, and I was in Japan actually, and Google Maps is the best for the public transportation systems because it can tell you your routes, it can tell you which train to get on, it can tell you which line, like which color it is, like what platform you need to be on, like everything you need to know about getting around, Google Maps can do it for you, and it can do it for you offline. Another one that people don't use enough is Google Photos. Google Photos literally backs up all of your stuff so nicely. Like it'll sort it for you, you can put it into categories, you can, once you upload it to Google Photos, like you can set it on automatic backup. You can delete that off your phone if you're a person with like low storage on your phone, you take too many pictures. Like I know for me, like I have over 20,000 photos because I took this phone with me when I studied abroad and I was traveling a lot and taking videos and pictures all on my phone, or downloaded them from my camera and on my separate cameras, my GoPro, like all of the things like that. Like I can put it all on my phone, I have a backup on my actual phone, and then Google Photos backs it up on top of that. And you can actually access Google Photos from your laptop, from your new phone, anywhere. And so that is so nice, and it's a great like stress reliever. Like you can not worry about having to lose all your photos. For some reason you lose your phone, it breaks, whatever, you're good. This one is kind of good to have. It's a VPN, so it's a virtual private network, and this is really good for when you're on those public networks. You're on that public Wi-Fi in like maybe a sketchy area, or just in your local coffee shop. Like it can really happen anywhere when you're sharing a network and someone's trying to like hack you, steal your data, intercept your data that you're sending somewhere on the web, and it's just not good. You want to protect your data. So I recommend getting a VPN app. Some of them you do have to pay for, which may be worth it depending on how long you're traveling for. But for me, I like to do the free 7-day trials because usually I won't be in one spot for more than 7 days. So I'll be traveling to China where they don't allow you to access Google, Facebook, like anything related to those apps, which is pretty much everything now. So you want to have a VPN to be able to access your stuff that you normally can access. Like I actually didn't have a problem with it because I have the American SIM card, and I think with my service it just worked out. Like I had AT&T and it was all good. But if for some reason you are using a Chinese SIM card while you're there, or in any other country where you might not be able to access certain things, you want to get a VPN to get around that firewall. One app that I use literally all the time, even when I'm like planning my trip while I'm there, just so convenient, is the currency exchange app. So it can list all your different currencies that you need, and what you can do is you can plug in, like say I'm in Hong Kong and I want to buy something, and something is like 1,400 Hong Kong dollars. I have no idea what that is in US dollars. So I just can plug it in here, and it'll tell me exactly like how many US dollars it is, and it's updated constantly, so it will keep up with the current exchange rates, and it's super useful. And you can also plug it around, so if I want to say I want to exchange like 20 US dollars, it'll tell you like how many yuan it is, how many euros it is, and it'll tell you all right here, which is so nice. Another one of my favorite apps is Visit a City. So this is really good to just kind of, if you have no idea what you want to do, you can just come in here and an itinerary will be ready to go for you. So let's say I want to visit Hong Kong. I'm going to click on Hong Kong. It'll tell you in how many days you want to see, 1 to 7 days. So let's say I want a 4-day guide. I'll click on that and it'll already have itineraries listed out ready to go for me depending on what I want to do. So if I want more easygoing or packed, like it has all these different options. I can see the plan. I can actually download this itinerary, so it's offline. Once again, offline is key because we don't want to be sucking up data. We don't want to be running around for Wi-Fi. We want to be able to be self-sufficient, but have all our info with us. So it has a really detailed itinerary, which is so nice, and it'll link tours that you can do. This is an awesome app. Last category is communication. Communication is very important, but a lot of the times if you were traveling internationally, there might be a language barrier. And there most likely will be a language barrier if you are outside of the US. A lot of people in the country you are visiting could speak English, but a lot of people could not. So what do? Well, hopefully you have picked up at least a couple common phrases in the local language to at least get yourself around, like hello, where's the bathroom, directions, like right or left kind of thing. But if not, you will love Google Translate. Google Translate is your friend. You can actually download the languages you want. So right now I have Chinese Simplified downloaded on here. I have Japanese, Vietnamese, French. You can go through, and if you're visiting multiple different countries, you can download all those different languages. So it's ready to go on your phone, and you can either type it in, you can handwrite, you can use the camera to translate with pictures, which is amazing. I've actually had to do this when I was in China. I was in Shanghai and I was looking for something very specific, like a certain kind of shop, and I was trying to ask people, but it was so difficult with the language barrier because no one I spoke to actually spoke English. So this app definitely came in handy. Another good communication app is WhatsApp. It works off of Wi-Fi, so WhatsApp is really good when you maybe want to communicate with people who don't have an iPhone and can just use like iMessage on Wi-Fi. So WhatsApp is good when you're doing group messages as well. And going back to China and their firewall and all of that good stuff, WeChat is actually the app that's kind of multiple different social media platforms all into one in China, and so that's what a lot of people will use. So if you meet people in China and you want to communicate with them and you want to meet up with them later potentially, you want to use WeChat. That will be your #1 form of communication for anyone in China if your SIM card does not bypass the firewall like mine did when I was there. Another one is Skype. I've heard a lot of people use that one when they travel to communicate because it can be used over Wi-Fi. You can make phone calls over Skype and all that good stuff, and it's all over Wi-Fi, so you don't have to worry about data there. And that pretty much covers it for all of my favorite apps. Like, I honestly use all those apps every single time I travel. You need these apps downloaded on your phone. Disclaimer, you can always get away with honestly not having any form of communication to the outside world. Like, you could probably get around without a phone, without service, without data, without Wi-Fi and all that good stuff, and being able to talk to the locals. And even if there is a language barrier, like, there are ways to get around that. But if you want your trip to run a little smoother, or you are not the most adventurous person, or maybe this is your first time traveling, these apps can be so helpful to you and so convenient. It'll just make your trip so much better. I'm definitely a person who likes to plan a lot of the trips, so I like having my itineraries on my phone, being able to navigate because I get so lost so easy. I'm very directionally challenged, so definitely having the Google Maps alone would be, if nothing else, if I had Google Maps, like, I could survive. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know if you use any of these apps, or if you have other apps that you really like to use when you travel. Like I said, Google Maps and currency exchange, like, that's about it. If nothing else, those are the two that are just top notch. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something about some travel apps today. And also follow me on Instagram at Annika Hudak. Bye! I feel good about it.